शिक्षण और सीखने की प्रक्रिया सुविधाजनक बनेगी। साथ ही इस प्रयास द्वारा अन्य लेखक आगे आएंगे और शिक्षा में क्षेत्रीय भाषाओं में लिखने को प्रोत्साहन मिलेगा।
Ladies and gentlemen, we presented before you a few films which highlighted how government is moving forward in the direction of presenting or providing the quality education, and it covered the various aspects as well.
नीति आयोग
अभी हमने आपके सामने जो
ममता मैडम
जी
मेरी आवाज मिली
जी
मैम, ये फ्लैग अच्छा नहीं लग रहा बीच में जो आपने सेंटर में लगाया। दो फ्लैग ऑलरेडी पीछे हैं ना, उनकी अपनी एक लुक है।
जी बिल्कुल
यही बोल। थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू। हाँ फर्स्ट थैंक यू।
अभी हमने आपके सामने फिल्म दिखाई जिसमें हमने शिक्षा के विभिन्न आयाम को छूने का प्रयास किया, और हम जानते हैं कि एक महत्वाकांक्षी योजना जो केंद्र सरकार ने शुरू की वो थी एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रोग्राम। और जो सफलता एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रोग्राम में हमने हासिल की, उसी के आधार पर उसका विस्तार करते हुए एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक प्रोग्राम तक हम पहुंचे हैं। और इसके पीछे एक ही सोच हमेशा काम की कि हमारे देश के वो क्षेत्र जो विकास की दौड़ में पिछड़ गए हैं, उन्हें भी उनका हाथ थामकर विकास की मुख्य धारा से जोड़ा जाए। क्योंकि सत्य तो यही है कि अगर हमें विकसित भारत बनाना है 2047 तक, तो संपूर्ण भारत का विकास जरूरी है। और संपूर्ण भारत का मतलब वो क्षेत्र भी जो विकास में पिछड़ रहे हैं, और इसीलिए विकास के विभिन्न मानकों पर इन क्षेत्रों का विकास किया जा रहा है। एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक प्रोग्राम चैंपियंस ऑफ चेंज। आइए इसी पर देखते हैं अब एक फिल्म।
आज की सरकार की प्राथमिकता है वंचितों को वरीयता। आज की सरकार एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट तक जा रही है, एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक तक जा रही है। आज की सरकार देश के सीमावर्ती गांवों को आखिरी गांव न मानकर उन्हें फर्स्ट विलेज मानते हुए काम कर रही है।
2047 में भारत विकसित राष्ट्र हो, इसके लिए माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी ने एक संकल्प लिया है। इस संकल्प की सिद्धि और उस सिद्धि से भारत की समृद्धि के लिए ही एक नए कार्यक्रम की नींव पड़ी, एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक प्रोग्राम एबीपी। 112 एस्पिरेशनल जिलों में एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रोग्राम एडीपी को सफलता के साथ लागू किया जा चुका है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री के नेतृत्व में एडीपी प्रोग्राम की सफलता को जमीनी स्तर पर पहुंचाने के लिए ही एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक प्रोग्राम की शुरुआत की जा रही है। ये प्रोग्राम प्रधानमंत्री जी के सबका साथ सबका विकास के विजन को घर घर तक पहुंचाने का मिशन है। एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक प्रोग्राम जिसमें विकास का फोकस होगा ब्लॉक यानी विकास खंड। कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म के आदर्श पर एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक प्रोग्राम में भी राज्यों का बहुत बड़ा और अहम रोल है। एबीपी में 500 ब्लॉक्स को चुना गया है। इरादा पक्का है और मिशन सिर्फ एक है, विकास का लाभ हर ब्लॉक के हर जन तक पहुंचे और विकास की ये बयार देश के कोने कोने तक पहुंचे। सरकार इस कार्यक्रम की सफलता के लिए कई जरूरी बातों का ध्यान रख रही है, जैसे कि ब्लॉक स्तर के डेवलपमेंट के लिए सही रणनीति का चुनाव, अधिकारियों के हाथ मजबूत करने के लिए केंद्रीय और राज्य ग्रामीण संस्थानों में तकनीकी ट्रेनिंग, मंत्रालयों और विभागों से डेटा सोर्सिंग और नॉलेज पोर्टल का निर्माण। एबीपी का उद्देश्य सरकार की योजनाओं को हर गांव, हर ब्लॉक तक बेहतर ढंग से पहुंचाकर आम लोगों के जीवन स्तर को ऊपर उठाना है। इसीलिए आम लोगों की जरूरतों को ध्यान में रखते हुए इसकी 5 थीम्स और 40 की परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर्स यानी केपीआईज भी चुने गए हैं। ये 5 थीम्स हैं: कृषि, स्वास्थ्य, वित्तीय समावेश और सामाजिक विकास, बेसिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और शिक्षा। संसाधन, सराहना और संकल्प, इन तीनों को मिलाकर ही तो विकसित राष्ट्र का हमारा सपना एबीपी कार्यक्रम की सफलता से तय होगा। चैंपियंस ऑफ चेंज। आजादी के शताब्दी वर्ष 2047 तक जिस मंजिल तक भारत के पहुंचने का संकल्प प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने लिया है, उसका प्रतीक है भारत सरकार का ये पोर्टल चैंपियंस ऑफ चेंज, यानी पाथवे टू प्रोग्रेस। ये अधिकारियों के साथ साथ आम लोगों के लिए भी बहुत उपयोगी है। ये पोर्टल जमीनी स्तर पर विकास का लक्ष्य प्राप्त करने और ब्लॉक स्तर पर सरकार की योजनाओं को प्रभावी तरीके से आम लोगों तक पहुंचाने में मददगार साबित होगा। इस पोर्टल के जरिए कोई भी व्यक्ति अपने ब्लॉक में विकास कार्यों की प्राथमिकताएं और उनकी प्रगति देख सकता है। एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक प्रोग्राम के तहत ये 500 ब्लॉक 31 राज्यों और केंद्र शासित प्रदेशों के 329 जिलों में से चुने गए हैं। इनकी आकांक्षा देश के विकसित ब्लॉक्स के साथ कदम से कदम मिलाकर आगे बढ़ने की है। सभी 500 ब्लॉक से जुड़े डेटा एक ही जगह होने से हर थीम और यहां तक कि उस थीम से जुड़े की परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर्स यानी केपीआईज के बारे में भी पूरी जानकारी इस पोर्टल पर उपलब्ध है। बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस के वीडियो को देखकर किसी भी ब्लॉक स्तर अधिकारी को ये जानकारी मिल सकती है कि अन्य ब्लॉक्स की तुलना में उन्हें अपने ब्लॉक के फोकस एरियाज में ऐसा क्या करने की जरूरत है जिससे आम लोगों की जिंदगी बेहतर बने। हर ब्लॉक को विकसित करके देश के एक एक नागरिक को विकास की मुख्य धारा में लाने के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के बृहत संकल्प को पूरा करने के लिए अधिकारियों और कर्मचारियों का प्रशिक्षण और क्षमता विकास जरूरी है। भारत सरकार के इस पोर्टल में इस बात का विशेष ख्याल रखा गया है। ब्लॉक स्तर के अधिकारियों के लिए उपयोगी ट्रेनिंग मॉड्यूल्स और कोर्सेज भी इस पोर्टल में उपलब्ध हैं। ये पोर्टल ज्ञान और तकनीक के रूप में उन्हें संसाधन भी मुहैया कराता है। पोर्टल के रिसोर्स सेक्शन में हर ब्लॉक के विकास की रणनीति है। इतना ही नहीं, पोर्टल पर हर जानकारी उपलब्ध होने से ब्लॉक के विकास में आम आदमी की भागीदारी भी बढ़ेगी। एबीपी विकास का ऐसा जन आंदोलन बनने जा रहा है जो दुनिया में विकसित भारत के निर्माण की मिसाल बनेगा।
Ladies and gentlemen, we would now take a pause and wait for Hon'ble Prime Minister's presence. He would be joining us at 10:30. So we are going to take a pause. यहाँ पर हम अब इंतजार करेंगे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी 10:30 बजे ऑनलाइन आ जाएंगे। तब तक यहाँ पर हम उनके इंतजार के लिए इस वक्त पॉज दे रहे हैं।
Extend warm welcome to all the delegates and the faculty members and the students who joined online to this program on Viksit Bharat at 2047. I request all the delegates to stand up. The Honorable Governor is coming. I cordially invite Honorable Governor to the dais. I request all the delegates to join for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
I invite all the delegates, faculty members, the students who joined to participate in the virtual session.
नमस्कार। परम आदरणीय माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी, आपका इस कार्यक्रम में हम हार्दिक अभिनंदन करते हैं। 2047 तक विकसित भारत के निर्माण की संकल्पना के साथ युवाओं की आवाज, उनके विचारों को जोड़ने, विकसित भारत के विजन में उनके रचनात्मक योगदान को सुनिश्चित करने के प्रयास स्वरूप नीति आयोग की ओर से इस कार्यक्रम का आयोजन किया गया है, जिसमें देश भर के विश्वविद्यालयों के वाइस चांसलर्स और शैक्षणिक संस्थानों के प्रमुख और फैकल्टी मेंबर्स भी इस कार्यक्रम में हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं। मैं केंद्रीय शिक्षा मंत्री माननीय श्री धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी से स्वागत संबोधन प्रस्तुत करने के लिए सादर अनुरोध करती हूँ।
माननीय राज्यपाल एवं उपराज्यपाल समूह, प्रतिष्ठित कुलपति, निर्देशक और उच्च शिक्षा संस्थानों की सभी आदरणीय फैकल्टी समूह, नमस्कार। आजादी के 75 वर्ष पूरे होने पर हमारी यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने देश की लाल किले से देश की आने वाले विकास के लिए, आने वाले रोड मैप बनाने के लिए एक नई दृष्टिकोण दिया है, विकसित भारत बनाने के लिए आह्वान किया है। हमारी देश की आजादी की 100 साल पूरे होने पर विकसित भारत के साथ एक नए भारत की निर्माण की उनकी अटूट प्रतिबद्धता ने करोड़ों लोगों के दिल में महत्वाकांक्षा और आशा की दीपक जलाया है। मित्रों, प्रधानमंत्री जी कहते हैं यही समय सही समय है। मित्रों, पिछले सदी में, 20वीं सदी में जब तीसरे दशक तक हम पहुंचे थे, देश की एक तबका आजादी की लड़ाई लड़ रहे थे, दूसरे तबका आने वाले दिनों में, आने वाले सदी में देश कैसे होगा, इसके लिए शिक्षा के आधार पे नई सपने संजो रहे थे, योजना बना रहे थे। आज आवश्यकता है हम समाज की सभी घटकों को, विशेष करके शिक्षाविदों को, विद्यार्थियों को, शिक्षा से जुड़े हुए सभी दायित्ववान लोगों को इकट्ठा करके विकसित भारत की इस विमर्श में जोड़ने की आवश्यकता है। शिक्षा विभाग की ओर से अभी देश में अमृतकाल विमर्श विकसित भारत 2047 की एक सीरीज ऑफ डायलॉग चल रहा है। उसी को आगे बढ़ाते हुए आज हम सभी का परम सौभाग्य है उसको एक जन आंदोलन की रूप देने के लिए प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने खुद आज देश की सभी मान्यगण्य शिक्षाविदों को, उसके माध्यम से देश की शिक्षा जगत को संबोधित करने का एक अवसर हम सभी के लिए बनाया है। मित्रों, इस विमर्श में नया आशा, आकांक्षा समाज की सभी विषयों के ऊपर, राजनीति, समाज नीति, अर्थनीति, टेक्नोलॉजी, इनोवेशन, नई रोजगार की सृजन और विश्व की एक नया दृष्टिकोण बनाने के लिए आज प्रधानमंत्री जी देश के सामने नया कल्पना रख रहे हैं। हमारी सारे एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन इसकी द्योतक बननी चाहिए। आज हमारी दायित्व है इस विमर्श को देश की नई पीढ़ी के अंदर हमारे कुलपति, हमारे डायरेक्टर, हमारे प्रोवोस्ट, हमारे सारे फैकल्टी, जैसे आजादी की लड़ाई के समय में सभी के अपने अपने दायित्व था, आज प्रधानमंत्री जी ने आह्वान किया है सभी को अपना कर्तव्य करना पड़ेगा। मित्रों, आइए आज हम लोग अपने कर्तव्य की, अपने हिस्सा की जिम्मेवारी को संभालें और अमृत काल में विकसित भारत हम सभी की जीवन की एक बड़े लक्ष्य हो। हम सभी की योगदान में शिक्षा को आधार करके हमारी व्यापक परिवार एक नया भारत, नया विश्व की सृजन करे। G20 की मंच पे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने विश्व को एक नया मार्गदर्शन किया है वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की। आज उसी कड़ी में हम शिक्षा जगत से एक अमृत निकालें, जिसमें हम माननीय प्रधानमंत्री की जो आज मार्गदर्शन रहेगा, जो आह्वान रहेगा, इसी को आज एक जन आंदोलन को एक प्रजातांत्रिक तरीके से साकार करने के लिए सभी की योगदान चाहिए, सभी की विमर्श चाहिए। मैं हम सब की ओर से माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का पुनः आभार प्रकट करता हूं और उनको निवेदन करता हूं हम सभी को आह्वान करें, मार्गदर्शन करें।
नमस्कार। केंद्रीय मंत्रिमंडल के मेरे सहयोगी धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी, देश भर से हमारे साथ जुड़े राज्यपाल श्री, शिक्षा जगत के महानुभाव, देवी और सज्जनों, आज विकसित भारत के संकल्पों को लेकर बहुत ही अहम दिन है। मैं सभी गवर्नर्स को विशेष बधाई दूंगा कि उन्होंने विकसित भारत के निर्माण से जुड़ी इस वर्कशॉप का आयोजन किया है। देश की युवा शक्ति को दिशा देने का दायित्व जिन साथियों पर है, उनको आप एक मंच पर लाए हैं। शिक्षण संस्थानों की भूमिका व्यक्ति निर्माण की होती है और व्यक्ति निर्माण से ही राष्ट्र निर्माण होता है। और आज जिस कालखंड में भारत है, उसमें व्यक्ति निर्माण का अभियान बहुत ज्यादा अहम हो गया है। मैं आप सभी को वॉइस ऑफ यूथ वर्कशॉप की सफलता के लिए अग्रिम शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। साथियों, हर देश को इतिहास एक ऐसा कालखंड देता है जब वो अपनी विकास यात्रा को कई गुना आगे बढ़ा लेता है। ये एक तरह से उस देश का अमृतकाल होता है। भारत के लिए ये अमृतकाल इसी समय आया है। ये भारत के इतिहास का वो कालखंड है जब देश एक क्वांटम जंप लगाने जा रहा है। हमारे इर्द गिर्द ही ऐसे अनेक देशों के उदाहरण हैं जिन्होंने एक तय समय में ऐसा ही क्वांटम जंप लेकर खुद को विकसित बना लिया। इसलिए ही मैं कहता हूं, भारत के लिए भी यही समय है, सही समय है। हमें इस अमृतकाल के पल पल का लाभ उठाना है। हमें एक भी पल गंवाना नहीं है। साथियों, हम सभी के सामने प्रेरणा के लिए आजादी का हमारा लंबा संघर्ष भी है। जब हम एक ध्येय के साथ, एक जोश, एक जज्बे के साथ आजादी को अंतिम लक्ष्य मानकर मैदान में उतरे, तब हमें सफलता मिली। इस दौरान सत्याग्रह हो, क्रांति का रास्ता हो, स्वदेशी को लेकर जागरूकता हो, सामाजिक और शैक्षिक सुधार की चेतना हो, ये सारी धाराएं एक साथ मिलकर आजादी के आंदोलन की ताकत बन गई थी। इसी कालखंड में काशी हिंदू विश्वविद्यालय, लखनऊ विश्वविद्यालय, विश्व भारती, गुजरात विद्यापीठ, नागपुर यूनिवर्सिटी, अन्नामलाई यूनिवर्सिटी, आंध्र यूनिवर्सिटी, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ केरल, ऐसे अनेक संस्थानों ने देश की चेतना को सशक्त किया। यही वो कालखंड था जब हर धारा में युवाओं के भीतर आजादी को लेकर नई चेतना का संचार हुआ। आजादी के लिए समर्पित एक पूरी युवा पीढ़ी खड़ी हो गई। एक ऐसा विचार देश में बन गया कि जो भी करना है वो आजादी के लिए करना है और अभी करना है। कोई चरखा काटता था तो वो भी आजादी के लिए, कोई विदेशी सामान का बहिष्कार करता था वो भी आजादी के लिए, कोई काव्य पाठ करता था वो भी आजादी के लिए, कोई किताब या अखबार में लिखता था वो भी आजादी के लिए, कोई अखबार के पर्चे बांटता था वो भी आजादी के लिए। ठीक इसी तरह आज हर व्यक्ति, हर संस्था, हर संगठन को इस प्रण के साथ आगे बढ़ना है कि मैं जो कुछ भी करूंगा वो विकसित भारत के लिए होना चाहिए। आपके लक्ष्य, आपके संकल्पों का ध्येय एक ही होना चाहिए, विकसित भारत। एक शिक्षक के तौर पर आप ये सोचें कि ऐसा क्या करेंगे कि विकसित भारत के लक्ष्य में देश की मदद हो। एक विश्वविद्यालय के तौर पर आप ये सोचें कि ऐसा क्या करें कि भारत तेजी से विकसित बने। आप जिस क्षेत्र में हैं वहां ऐसा क्या हो, किस तरह हो कि भारत विकसित बनने के अपने मार्ग में तेजी से आगे बढ़े। साथियों, आप जिन एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं वहां आपको देश की युवा ऊर्जा को इस एक लक्ष्य के लिए चैनलाइज करना है। आपके संस्थानों में आने वाला हर युवा कुछ न कुछ विशेषताओं के साथ आता है। उसके विचारों को चाहे वो कितने भी विविध क्यों न हो, उन सबको विकसित भारत के निर्माण की धारा से जोड़ना है। मैं चाहूंगा कि आप सभी विकसित भारत @2047 के विजन में कंट्रीब्यूट करने के लिए अपने दायरे से बाहर जाकर भी सोचें, आउट ऑफ बॉक्स सोचें। देश के हर कॉलेज और यूनिवर्सिटी में अधिक से अधिक युवा इस अभियान में शामिल हो सके, इसके लिए भी आपको विशेष अभियान चलाना चाहिए, नेतृत्व करना चाहिए, सरल भाषा में चीजों को व्याख्यायित करना चाहिए। आज ही माय गॉव के अंदर विकसित भारत @2047 सेक्शन लॉन्च हुआ है। इसमें विकसित भारत के विजन के लिए आइडियाज का एक सेक्शन है। और क्योंकि आइडिया की शुरुआत ही आई से होती है, इसलिए इसमें ऐसे आइडिया चाहिए जिसमें वर्णन हो कि मैं स्वयं भी क्या कर सकता हूं। और आइडिया में जैसे आई सबसे पहले है, इंडिया में भी आई सबसे पहले है। यानी अगर हमें सफलता पानी है, लक्ष्यों की प्राप्ति करनी है, उचित परिणाम लाना है, तो स्वयं के आई से ही शुरू होता है। इस माय गॉव पर, इस ऑनलाइन आइडियाज के पोर्टल पर 5 अलग अलग थीम्स पर सुझाव दिए जा सकते हैं। सबसे बेहतरीन 10 सुझावों के लिए पुरस्कार की भी व्यवस्था की गई है। साथियों, जब मैं सुझावों की बात करता हूं तो आपके सामने खुला आसमान है। हमें देश में एक ऐसी अमृत पीढ़ी को तैयार करना है जो आने वाले वर्षों में देश की कर्णधार बनेगी, जो देश को नेतृत्व और दिशा देगी। हमें देश के एक ऐसी नौजवान पौध को तैयार करना है जो देश हित को सर्वोपरि रखते, जो अपने कर्तव्यों को सर्वोपरि रखें। हमें सिर्फ शिक्षा और कौशल तक ही सीमित नहीं रहना है। एक नागरिक के तौर पर 2400 घंटे देश के नागरिक कैसे सजग रहें, इस दिशा में भी प्रयास बढ़ाने आवश्यक है। हमें समाज में वो चेतना लानी है। कैमरे लगे हो या न लगे हो, लोग ट्रैफिक की रेड लाइट जंप न करें। लोगों में कर्तव्य बोध इतना ज्यादा हो कि वो समय पर दफ्तर पहुंचे, अपने दायित्वों को निभाने के लिए आगे बढ़कर काम करें। हमारे यहां जो भी प्रोडक्ट बने उसकी क्वालिटी इतनी बेहतर हो कि मेड इन इंडिया देखकर लेने वाले का गर्व और बढ़ जाए। जब देश का हर नागरिक जिस भी भूमिका में है, जब वो अपने कर्तव्यों को निभाने लगेगा तो देश भी आगे बढ़ चलेगा। अब जैसे प्राकृतिक संसाधनों के इस्तेमाल से जुड़ा विषय है। जब जल संरक्षण को लेकर गंभीरता बढ़ेगी, जब बिजली बचाने को लेकर गंभीरता बढ़ेगी, जब धरती मां को बचाने के लिए केमिकल का इस्तेमाल कम होगा, जब पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट के ज्यादा से ज्यादा इस्तेमाल के प्रति गंभीरता होगी, तो समाज पर, देश पर, हर क्षेत्र में बहुत ज्यादा सकारात्मक प्रभाव पड़ेगा। मैं ऐसे कितने ही उदाहरण आपको गिना सकता हूं। आप भी मानेंगे कि छोटी छोटी बातें हैं, लेकिन इनका इम्पैक्ट बहुत बड़ा होता है। स्वच्छता के जन आंदोलन को नई ऊर्जा कैसे दी जाए, इसके लिए भी आपका सुझाव अहम होंगे। हमारे युवा कैसे आधुनिक लाइफस्टाइल के साइड इफेक्ट्स का मुकाबला करें, इसके लिए आपके सुझाव अहम होंगे। मोबाइल की दुनिया के अलावा हमारे युवा बाहर की दुनिया भी देखें, ये भी उतना ही जरूरी है। एक शिक्षक के तौर पर आपको ऐसे कितने ही विचारों की सीडिंग वर्तमान और अगली पीढ़ी में करनी है, और आपको खुद भी अपने विद्यार्थियों का रोल मॉडल बनना है। देश के नागरिक जब देश के हित की सोचेंगे, तभी एक सशक्त समाज का निर्माण होगा। और आप भी जानते हैं कि जिस तरह समाज का मानस होता है, वैसी ही झलक हमें शासन प्रशासन में भी नजर आती है। मैं अगर शिक्षा के क्षेत्र की बात करूं तो उससे जुड़े भी कितने ही विषय हैं। 3-4 साल के कोर्स के बाद हमारे शिक्षण संस्थान प्रमाण पत्र देते हैं, डिग्रियां देते हैं, लेकिन क्या हमें ये सुनिश्चित नहीं करना चाहिए कि हर छात्र के पास कोई न कोई स्किल अनिवार्य रूप से हो? ऐसी चर्चाएं, इससे जुड़े सुझाव ही विकसित भारत की यात्रा का मार्ग स्पष्ट करेंगे। इसलिए आपको अपने हर कैंपस, हर संस्थान और राज्य के स्तर पर इन विषयों पर मंथन की एक व्यापक प्रक्रिया के रूप में आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। साथियों, विकसित भारत के निर्माण का यह अमृतकाल वैसा ही है, वैसा ही समय है जैसे हम अक्सर परीक्षाओं के दिनों में देखते हैं। विद्यार्थी अपने परीक्षा के प्रदर्शन को लेकर बहुत आत्मविश्वासी होते हैं, लेकिन फिर भी अंतिम समय तक वो कोई कोर कसर बाकी नहीं छोड़ता। हर विद्यार्थी अपना सब कुछ झोंक देता है, समय का पल पल एक ही देह से जोड़ देता है, और जब परीक्षा की तारीखें आ जाती हैं, डेट डिक्लेयर हो जाती है, तो ऐसा लगता है पूरे परिवार की परीक्षा की तारीख आ गई। सिर्फ विद्यार्थी नहीं, बल्कि पूरा परिवार ही एक अनुशासन के दायरे में हर काम करता है। हमारे लिए भी देश के नागरिक के तौर पर परीक्षा की डेट डिक्लेयर हो चुकी है। हमारे सामने 25 साल का अमृतकाल है। हमें 24 घंटे इसी अमृतकाल और विकसित भारत के लक्ष्यों के लिए काम करना है। यही वातावरण हमें एक परिवार के रूप में बनाना, ये हम सबकी सामूहिक जिम्मेवारी है। साथियों, आज दुनिया की आबादी तेजी से बुजुर्ग हो रही है और भारत युवा शक्ति से सशक्त है। एक्सपर्ट बताते हैं कि आने वाले 25-30 वर्षों तक वर्किंग एज पॉपुलेशन के मामले में भारत सबसे अग्रणी रहने वाला है। इसलिए भारत के युवाओं पर पूरी दुनिया की नजर है। युवा शक्ति एजेंट ऑफ चेंज भी है और बेनिफिशियरीज ऑफ चेंज भी है। आज जो युवा साथी कॉलेज और यूनिवर्सिटीज में हैं, उनके करियर को भी यही 25 साल तय करने वाले हैं। यही युवा नए परिवार बनाने वाले हैं, नया समाज बनाने वाले हैं। इसलिए ये तय करना कि विकसित भारत कैसा हो, ये हक भी सबसे अधिक हमारी युवा शक्ति को ही है। इसी भाव के साथ सरकार देश के हर युवा को विकसित भारत के एक्शन प्लान से जोड़ना चाहती है। देश के युवाओं की आवाज को विकसित भारत के निर्माण की नीति रणनीति में ढालना चाहती है। युवाओं के साथ आप सबसे ज्यादा संपर्क में रहते हैं, इसलिए इसमें आप सभी साथियों का योगदान बहुत महत्वपूर्ण होने वाला है। साथियों, हमें प्रगति के जिस रोड मैप पर चलना है, वो सिर्फ सरकार तय नहीं करेगी, उसे देश तय करेगा। देश के हर नागरिक का इनपुट उसमें होगा, सक्रिय भागीदारी इसमें होगी। सबका प्रयास यानी जन भागीदारी एक ऐसा मंत्र है जिससे बड़े से बड़े संकल्प सिद्ध होते हैं। स्वच्छ भारत अभियान हो, डिजिटल इंडिया अभियान हो, कोरोना से मुकाबला हो, वोकल फॉर लोकल होने की बात हो, हम सभी ने सबका प्रयास की ताकत देखी है। सबका प्रयास से ही विकसित भारत का निर्माण होना है। आप सभी विद्वत जन स्वयं भी देश के विकास के विजन को शेप करने वाले लोग हैं, युवा शक्ति को चैनलाइज करने वाले लोग हैं। इसलिए आपसे अपेक्षाएं कहीं अधिक हैं। ये देश का भविष्य लिखने का एक महाअभियान है। आपका हर सुझाव विकसित भारत की इमारत की भव्यता को और निखारेगा। एक बार फिर आप सभी को आज के इस वर्कशॉप की तो शुभकामनाएं देता हूं, लेकिन आज से जो आंदोलन शुभारंभ हो रहा है और मेरा पक्का विश्वास है कि 2047 तक हम विकसित भारत बना सकते हैं, मिलकर के बना सकते हैं। आज यात्रा का आरंभ हो रहा है। नेतृत्व शिक्षाविदों के हाथ में है, नेतृत्व विद्यार्थियों के हाथ में है, नेतृत्व शिक्षण जगत की इंस्टीट्यूशंस के हाथ में है। और ये अपने आप में देश बनाने वाली और स्वयं को भी बनाने वाली पीढ़ी का कालखंड है। उन सब के लिए मेरी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं हैं। धन्यवाद।
विकसित भारत एक्ट 2047 युवाओं की आवाज, इस पहल का शुभारंभ माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के द्वारा किए जाने के बाद अब दिल्ली से ये कार्यक्रम यही समाप्त हो रहा है। अब आप सबसे अनुरोध करते हैं कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के द्वारा दिए गए मार्गदर्शन के अनुरूप वर्कशॉप और पैनल डिस्कशन के आधार पर आप अपने कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं। Ladies and gentlemen, with this we conclude the launch function of Viksit Bharat Act 2047 Voice of Youth from Delhi. You may all kindly proceed with the workshops and panel discussions as per the scheduled program. Thank you all for joining us. Namaskar.
Honorable Special Chief Secretary to the Governor, Principal Secretary, Higher Education Department, Chairman AFSHI, the Vice Chancellors of various universities, Rectors, Registrars, Deans, Directors, the faculty members and the students who joined online, I extend warm invitation to this panel discussion on Viksit Bharat. As just now our Prime Minister, Hon'ble Prime Minister stated, India is a young nation. With a median age of 29 years, India accounts for 20% of world's youth. This favorable demographic dividend provides an enormous opportunity for us to propel India into Viksit Bharat. Using this opportunity with tremendous dedication coupled with steadfast leadership, India has established an extensive higher education ecosystem with 1,100 universities, 43,000 colleges, 11,000 standalone institutions, and 4.3 crore students pursuing higher education. Just now our Prime Minister quoted, "This is really Amrit Kal for India." The young India's creativity and the potential made India the third largest startup economy in the globe with a value upwards $340 billion. So at this juncture, there is a need to utilize all the advantages. Just now the Prime Minister called to utilize all the advantages and combined with our unwavering and wholehearted effort to achieve the Viksit Bharat, the ambition of the Viksit Bharat in 2047, when our young India celebrates 100 years of independence. So there is a need to identify the thrust areas and chalk out the plan of action in order to reach our goal of Viksit Bharat. In this context, APSHI framed a theme for today's panel discussion on empowered Indians. So I request the 5 panel members one by one, that is for the panel discussion on empowered Indians. I request Professor K. Ram Mohan Rao Garu, the Vice Chairman APSHI, to come onto the dais. Ram Mohan Rao Garu started his career in 1982 and served as a Registrar of Andhra University and the Vice Chancellor of the Krishna University. He is an inspiring teacher and received Man of Social Responsibility Award by Startup Mentoring System. Thank you, sir, for gracing the occasion. Now I can invite Professor K.N. Satyanarayana Garu, the Director, IIT Tirupati. Professor K. Satyanarayana Garu is known for his pioneering work on building technology, construction management, and public-private partnership. He is also Chairman of Academic Advisory Group, Project Management Institute, India. Thank you, sir. Now I can invite Professor Manoj K. Arora, the Vice Chancellor of SRM University, Andhra Pradesh. He is renowned unto the dais. He is renowned academician with significant contributions in the field of artificial intelligence, machine learning, remote sensing, and digital image classification. Thank you, sir, for gracing the panel discussion. Now I can invite Professor P. Fazal Rahman Garu, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Abdul Haq Urdu University, as well as the in-charge Vice Chancellor of Rayalaseema University onto the dais. He is the first employee of Maulana Azad National Urdu University, and he also served as the Director, UGC Human Resource Development. Thank you, sir, for gracing the panel discussion. Now I can invite Professor G.M. Sundaravalli Garu, the first woman Vice Chancellor of the Vikram Simhapuri University, as well as the in-charge Vice Chancellor of Sri Venkateshwara University. She is known for Indian literature, American literature, as well as the comparative literature. She is also served as the Rector of Sri Venkateshwara University. So, the today's theme for the panel discussion is Empowered Indians. APSHI included 5 sub-themes under the theme Empowered Indians. The one is Skilling Indians, Innovation and Entrepreneurship, Atmanirbhar Bharat, Inclusive Growth and Development, and Women Empowerment. The first theme is Skilling Indians. Everybody knows that the skill is a tool which drives the students to their successful career itself. But having the right skill which is relevant to the market economy is very important. In order to promote the market demanded skilling, the government launched the Skilling India program under NSDC. With this background, now I can invite the first panel discussant, Professor Ram Mohan Rao Garu, to start his the discussion on Skilling India.
Good morning, all of you. Respected panel members, co-panel members, the principal secretaries, Professor Sri Syamal Rao Garu, Principal Secretary Higher Education, Singhal Garu, Principal Secretary to the Government, the Chairman, APSHI, Professor K. Hemchandra Reddy Garu, the Vice Chancellors, Registrars, Rectors, Principals, dear student friends. Just now we had our Prime Minister's message. He identified the last quarter of the first century of independence as Amrit Kaal. For the last 10 years, we could able to witness substantial growth in the country, despite several unexpected problems encountered, particularly the COVID pandemic. India could withstand, based on its very strong fundamentals, to rise the economic growth and very clearly sending the messages to the rest of the world that India is going to be a superpower in near future. This 25 years identified as a great opportunity to the India because of the population that we have. The median age is 29 and almost 50% of the Indians are below 29 years of age. That means 70 crore Indian population are having excellent potential to become the world leaders. So this youth has to be empowered, and the most important route for empowering youth is skilling. If we train the students in the right ways, the way in which the market demands, as you all know, the international scenario is dynamically changing. Technological transformation is happening on a very high pace, and the future changes are unpredictable. So then our challenge is to make every youth develop competencies to face the dynamic challenges in the future. Towards this end, we have devised several plans, particularly if we take the Andhra model. We have revised the curriculum in such a way that every student joins in education system will acquire the relevant skills during the study period. So skills became an integral part of curriculum framework, and almost 30% of the courses are allocated for building skills, and not only the skills that are part of the curriculum. In addition to that, the vision of the government is carried out by the Higher Education Department and Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education by connecting to the internationally top-rated organizations which have developed a wonderful contemporary skill programs. They are offered to the lakhs of the students yet free of cost. See, the Microsoft certification program is one example where 1,62,000 licenses were given to the students yet free of cost. And it is not like offering something can make everything possible. See, when 1,62,000 certification licenses are offered to students, in the first few months, only a few thousand students registered. After reviewing the situation, the government has devised the plans to motivate, build confidence in the students to register for those certifications, and then successfully we could able to achieve 1,25,000 certifications of Microsoft. The same is the case with the Salesforce. After Salesforce offered 70,000 licenses at free of cost to Andhra Pradesh, but when after 4 months of offering, when the chairman APSI reviewed, there were only 425 registrations. Our students, though they have potential, they are unable to realize the potential and gain confidence. Then when right moves are taken place, motivation is given, confidence is given from the government, APSI and the institutions, we could achieve 35,000 successful certifications of Salesforce in 1 year. So, in this process, what I wanted to push forward is that it is not just creating an environment or atmosphere or making offers that can drive the output. We have to take it seriously and consider this as a movement to go forward, and then at every level, at the institutional level, at the class level, the teachers have to focus upon building skills of the students. Then only we can achieve the skilled Indians. It is not only that, we should not only confine to the students who join in the institutions. We have to extend this philosophy, this movement to the villages, to the common men. Fortunately, the occupational skills of the Indians, most of them are inherited. They have the skills learned from their parents and grandparents, and they are operating on that. But unfortunately, those skills are not fine-tuned. So we have introduced a program called Community Service Project, where 2 months period, every student will go to the villages. Let these students interact with the occupational groups, identify the skill gaps there, and discuss with ideas from them, and also fine-tuning those ideas, and they will make the entire India, all the occupational skilled people, ready to face the challenges of the future. So we have wonderful women power. And India Skills Report, recently 23, that released, states that during the last 5 years, the employable skills of the Indians increased from 40% to 50%. And more so, the higher percentage of this group belongs to the women. So, this clearly establishes the fact that the women of India have greater potential to nurture the right skills. So that all the educational institutions should focus upon women, girl students, and also the women housewives who have the potential to learn quickly. And for that, we have to use the online programs to reach the greater audience. Of course, there is a problem of digital infrastructure. Digital divide is there. Only 43% are having now the smartphones, but the government of India has to really focus upon building digital infrastructure to reach every person through digital means with the skills that are available offered by top-end institutions. We can pass on them and make every young person in the India capable of designing his own career, her own career, and become a most productive person so that the entire world can reap the benefits. So according to an estimate that by 2030, more than 20% of the world workforce will be from India. We have excellent opportunities across the world by staying in India, by being Indians. The world is aging and we are still standing young. We have to exploit this wonderful opportunity, and therein every educational institution, whether it is
school, college or university, should take this as a responsibility and make every student think about it, work on it, and as faculty and as academic leaders, we have to create events, situations, opportunities for the students to interact, students to gain knowledge, gain skills, and disseminate those skills through students to the entire country. Thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity given to me.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting how the skills are integral part of the curriculum and how the APSHI is promoting the skills through certification, skill development courses, and internships, as well as the community service projects. And sir appealed all the university to focus on the women students as well as the rural women, particularly for skilling program. Sir needs a great applause from all the delegates. Thank you very much, sir. Now we can move on to the second theme, that is innovation and entrepreneurship. As all aware that innovation and entrepreneurship are the two sides of the same coin. Both are important factors for the development of nation. The government launched several programs to promote innovation and entrepreneurships in science and technology, as well as the social enterprises to address the challenges of education, health sector, and sanitation. Now I request the second panel discussant, Professor Satyanarayana Garu, the Director, IIT Tirupati, to focus on the innovation and entrepreneurship.
Thank you. Hello. Yeah. Thank you, Professor Uma Maheshwari Garu. The Special Chief Secretary to the Governor, Sri Anil Kumar Singalji, the Special Secretary, Principal Secretary, Higher Education, Sri Shyamal Rao Garu, Chairman APSHI, Hemchandra Reddy Garu, my fellow panelists, colleagues from the various institutions across Andhra Pradesh, ladies and gentlemen. The Prime Minister talked about what we should, how do we enable, get our students, the youth, to think about how do we make India a Viksit Bharat by 2047, 100 years of the independence. Now, this century we say is a century of China and India. And India has this big advantage of the demographic dividend that has been referred to earlier by the Hon'ble Prime Minister and also the earliest Speaker Rammohan Rao Garu. And, you know, it's a big advantage window that we have, they say till about 2050, where we have a highly productive, potential productive population. which we have to take advantage of. Right? There are more than 600 million people aged between 18 and 35, and 65% of them are under 35. Okay? And the median age is about 28, which very few countries across the world have it. And this advantage is expected to persist till about just past our 2047 target that we have set ourselves, with the demographic dividend peaking around mid of 2040s. And the share of the working age population is expected to be almost 60%. Okay, while the rest of the world is aging, most of the countries, advanced countries, population are aging. The percentage of population who are employable or productive is coming down. That is between 15 and 65. Now the challenge is there are two fronts. One is creating employment. Second thing is growing the economy. And today, if you have to be a leading economy, the innovation is a foundation on which the world's economy's growth are being laid on. Now in this context, there's a big push for making students much more entrepreneur, making them being employment creators rather than employment seekers. And in this whole context, there are many players whom we have to look at to create this highly innovative ecosystem in the country. Whether it is the government with its enabling framework and policies, whether it is the industry, which is finally will take the products that are developed or the services that are developed to the market, or the educational institutions like ours. So I will focus more in the context of where universities play a role in this whole innovation ecosystem. And we have a huge initiatives on startups in the country. And they say we have the third most thriving startup ecosystem in the world that has developed over the last decade. Today we have something like more than 116,000 registered startups in this country. And the benefits that they bring in and so on. I will come to the government's role in this a little bit later on. So what is the role of the universities in this particular context? So the first thing is the talent pool. Universities act as a talent bank, right? By existing in when I say universities, it's institutions, colleges, and the whole ecosystem. So by existing in an ecosystem, they enrich the talent pool that the startups look to, they strive for. Then we're talking about knowledge transfer. Next one is knowledge transfer. So it's another critical function of universities is the transfer of knowledge to the startups and the ecosystems through academic research, cutting edge technology, and specialized knowledge. So this transfer significantly contributes to the product development and innovation. And then we have the ecosystem that is created within the institutions or even outside the institutions in terms of incubators and accelerators. Universities can play an active role by launching their own incubators and accelerator programs. And these programs need not necessarily target their own students, but also the ecosystem around. So many accelerators today, provide platforms for people not only associated with the university to come and use this framework that has been created. Then we have technology transfer and licensing, right? Universities as hubs of innovation possesses intellectual property that can be licensed or transformed into these startups. So this provides the startups with a technological edge, imbibing them to bring innovative products and services to the market very rapidly. Then we have the next issue is the platforms for networking and partnerships. Universities facilitate this networking opportunities by hosting various events, conferences, workshops, seminars, And startups can connect with potential partners, customers, suppliers, and other stakeholders through these events and expanding their network and opportunities. Now, this ecosystem within the universities, I will look at it from the framework of a research, from my experience in the small role I played in setting up the IIT Madras Research Park, the most thriving research park in the country. So what is the ecosystem the university provides? First thing is the faculty and the field experts. We need good faculty who have this, whose expertise, and then we need to provide faculty members with opportunities and skills to be entrepreneurial. This requires a different kinds of mindset. It's one thing to go teach and do research and publish, but if you are going to make it into a product or a service that can get into the market, you have to have this entrepreneurial mindset. So how do we leverage the presence of faculty and experts within institutions? Students and research scholars. Now these are the people, as in the IIT Madras Research Park, we used to talk about the three entities. One is the faculty members with the expertise, students who have the energy and who do not know it is not possible, so they come up with new ideas, fresh ideas, and then you have the industry which knows what can be marketable, what is required in the market, and so on. So how do you bring them all together? So students and research scholars, once again, creating an ecosystem for them being aware of how to take their whatever research they're doing up to the product level. And then the state of the art. For this, we need the inside the institution, universities, we need state of the art infrastructure to be created, and with the associated labs and the various facilities. And then centers of excellence, where a focus is given for either health sector or agri sector or AI, ML, various sectors. So various centers of excellence, and then the incubators. You will see many of the leading institutions have multiple incubators. So innovation thrives when faculty, students, and industry professionals interact in various formal and informal spaces or informal environment. Now, to create this, the concept of research park has been brought in. How do we bring them all to come together so that this will lead to innovation? So when we started the IIT Madras, I'm basically from IIT Madras, so I'm very familiar with the thing, and created the biggest research park in the country as the chairman of the committee to build this 1.2 million square feet facility that we did there. So what we did is we created this research park which is just adjoining the campus on nearly a 12-acre site, and we have today nearly 170, 180 companies which have come and set up shop there to interact with the faculty members and the students. And to be present there, you have to earn certain credit points. How do you earn credit points? By sponsoring research in the various labs and departments, by your employees who are there as research scientists participating in the institute activities, and creating internships, and so on. So you create this huge facility where all these people come together and make this happen. At IIT Tirupati, when we got the state government has been generous in giving us 548 acres, and it so happened that we have a highway, and we have 530 acres between the mountain and the highway, and they've given us another 19 acres on the other side of the highway. So we set that aside to create this research park. We want to create a similar ecosystem of a large research park where not only our institution, but the institutions around also can benefit from it. The industry in that area and the institutions around. It so happens that Tirupati, being a town of just 400,000, in spite of it, it has about 7, 8 universities. I think very few cities in the country of that size have so much of educational ecosystem. So how do we leverage it? And the other big advantage is how do we create this network? We're talking about innovation happens when unlike minds come together and networking happens and people collaborate. And the big advantage is the proximity to Bangalore, which is just today 4 hours away, 250 kilometers, but with the 6 laning and everything, we are getting there in 4 hours. Or Chennai, which is just 150 kilometers away. How do we plug into these ecosystems and create this large network and then work with other institutions across the state? And APSHI, Andhra Pradesh State Council for Higher Education, has taken this major initiative of creating this platform for the institutions to interact together. They came up with the Higher Education Planning Board, where they came up with 5 clusters, right? We have the Tirupati cluster, which is the biggest cluster of the institutions. Then we have the Guntur Vijayawada cluster. Then we have the Anantapur cluster. We have the Godavari cluster. And then we have the Vizag cluster, right? So these institutions are being, the platforms are being created so that we work together, share our resources, leverage them, and so on. So for example, whenever recently, just as a couple of months back, we brought in the leading experts in the country on the various scientific missions, various scientific missions. So we had members from the Niti Aayog, we had a couple of secretaries from the Government of India come and talk about what are the major scientific missions are happening across the country, and we invited all the institutions across to come and learn from this. So we need to create this, strong platform, and coming to the government support to create this strong ecosystem. You know, now the government, at the national level, they've been ranking the innovation ecosystems and the startup ecosystems across the various states. And the states like Karnataka, Maharashtra, they're doing very well. And I think among the southern states, AP needs to be, pulled up further. It's been listed among the emerging ecosystems, not as an established ecosystem. So we need to, all of us work together that we create a very strong ecosystem here for startups and innovation. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Pointing out that 60% of the Indian population is at workforce when compared with advanced countries. Satyanarayana Garu suggested Panchasutras to the universities in order to address the issue of employability versus population growth. What is the talent bank, knowledge transfer, incubators versus accelerators, technology license, networking partnership with cluster universities. Thank you very much, sir. He needs a great applause from the delegates. Now we can move on to the third sub-theme, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Everybody knows that the self-reliance and the resilience both are the very important factors for robust and advanced nation. Atmanirbhar Bharat was initiated by our Hon'ble Prime Minister in 2020 in order to address the economic challenges posed by COVID-19 as well as the global economic recession. Slowly, the Atmanirbhar Bharat became a slogan for national development through its roots into reduced dependency and self-reliance. Sir, I request Manoj Arora sir to focus or elucidate the salient features of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Thank you, Umaji. Special Secretary Anil ji, Principal Secretary Shyamala Garu ji, my co-panelists, Hemachandra Reddy Garu ji. First of all, thank you for inviting me to this wonderful panel discussion on a very apt theme, which is empowered Indians. And we all have heard that the kind of youth population which we have, I think if we have to succeed to become Viksit Bharat, we need to channelize their energy in the right direction. And I think I would like to quote our Honorable Governor when he was addressing convocation in August end at Acharya Nagarjuna University. He specifically made reference to this Atmanirbhar Bharat and Startup India, which are intended to make the country self-reliant. Now, if we see Atmanirbharta, it is in our genes. Look at our political self-reliance for independence through self-governance. That's what we achieved. Post-independence, the first document on industrial policy, resolution of 1948 came, which also talked about mixed economy and self-reliance. India's Green Revolution and White Revolution, under the leadership of then Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri, are burning examples of self-reliance in food and milk. Look at the public sectors. IITs for domestic engineers, Steel Authority of India, AIIMS, we have AIIMS here in Mangalgiri, DRDOs, HALs, ISROs, NTPCs, GAIL, all are these examples and harbingers of self-reliance in India. Private products, if you see, Maruti 800 car, Thumbs Up, Amul, HDFC, pharmaceutical companies like Bharat Biotech and Serum Institute of India are also examples of self-reliance. But as we all know, that it was on 12th May 2020 when our Hon'ble Prime Minister publicly used the Hindi word Atmanirbhar for the first time. The state of the world today teaches us that Atmanirbhar Bharat is the only path, he said. And he said, for India, self-reliance means being self-sustaining and self-generating and creating wealth and values not only for ourselves, but for the larger community. So it's not just for India, it is for the larger community when he says, Vasudevaya Kutumbakam. And you also heard various slogans, vocal for local, local for global, make for world, and brain drain to brain grain. So if I look at all these slogans and the real objective of Atmanirbhar Bharat, it is basically cutting down on the dependency on imports and focusing more on the production within India. There are 5 pillars, as you know: an economy that is sufficient to take quantum jump rather than growing incrementally, an infrastructure that could become the spotlight and identity for modern India, a system that runs on technology to fulfill the requirements and aspirations of the future generations, an optimum cycle of demand and supply chain within the economy to boost the needs of the country to be harnessed at its fullest. And finally, a vibrant demography consisting of millennials who should be determined enough to elevate it from developing country to developed nation. And that's our strength. So if millenniums have to play a role, efforts are needed to keep their education and skilling that is relevant to global and national demands. Professor Ram Mohan Garu have talked about skilling. Professor Satyanarayan has talked about entrepreneurship and innovation. And I think these are the keys if we really want to become Atmanirbhar Bharat. Not to underestimate women empowerment and inclusivity as well. I think education has to play a big role in this, and NEP is the first step in that direction. All of us and each one of us have understood the NEP, and most of us have already applied that in our curricula. But the real feel will come when it happens on ground. The curricula is the key, the design is the key, but if it is not delivered and assessed in the right manner, then every design will fail. So therefore, delivery and assessment is equally important as far as curricula or education is concerned. It talks about 21st century skills, it talks about innovation and entrepreneurship, experiential learning, interdisciplinary learning, value education and holistic education, among other provisions. Besides this, I think community service and social responsibility needs to be integrated in the curricula. And all these have to be relevant in today's context. When we talk of graduate outcomes from academic programs, we generally talk about placements. And in most of our institutions, we have largely focused on skilling our students for larger companies. But if you look at Atmanirbhar Bharat's intent, the objective is to focus on MSMEs, which will be one of the key driving force towards self-sufficiency. Now look at the examples of South Korea, Japan, and Singapore. They promoted MSME sector, and look at their economies now. We need to engage with MSMEs to really encash upon it. And for this, we have to reimagine our relationship with the industry. The relationship now should become partnership, wherein both academia and industrialists, in particular MSMEs, should form groups who can work on the real issues, real problems. And when academics and industries will sit together, the academics will bring knowledge back to the classrooms, and that's how the cycle will work. Now, graduate outcomes should not be limited to placements. And last 6-7 years have seen how entrepreneurship has played a big role in making youth more empowered as far as India is concerned. And Professor Satyanarayan has already elaborated a lot on innovation and entrepreneurship and the role of universities in creating those incubation spaces, accelerators, and whatnot. I think besides physical spaces, virtual incubation is also going to play a major role in time to come. So, entrepreneurs, in fact, if we really want to create more entrepreneurs, although we are having more than 100 unicorns in the country, these entrepreneurs also need support. And for this, educational institutions should allow them to work and use their laboratories. Whosoever wants to use it at a small fee, then I think we can really empower the youth to become job creators, not just job seekers. Therefore, I believe that we as educational institutions have to play a major role in channelizing the energy of the youth, who can then become harbingers of Viksit Bharat. In this context, I would strongly advocate that skilling and entrepreneurship are the two keys which will unfold the potential of youth and who will work for the growth of the country to make it Viksit Bharat in 2047. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for quoting several examples for self-reliance from food sector to the health sector, and explaining how the vocal for local and local to the global, particularly the MSMEs, they're cutting down the dependency and accelerating the self-reliance. He needs a great applause from the delegates again. Now we can move on to the fourth sub-theme, the inclusive growth and development. From the day of independence, the unity is a diversity is our motto. India is a land of diversity with people belonging to the different religions, the regions, the culture, the languages, and economy also, which coexist in harmony. And this is possible only through the inclusive growth. Inclusive growth escorts all the segments of the society for the development itself. And this is possible through social welfare programs like the rural development, women empowerment, healthcare, digital inclusion. Now I can request Fazil Rahman Garu, the Vice Chancellor of Abdul Haq Urdu University, to throw light on the inclusive growth and development.
Thank you. Delegates on the dais, good afternoon. Thank you for giving this opportunity to be on for this panel discussion. Viksit Bharat is a draft and promising roadmap envisioning India a $30 trillion developed economy by 2047. We are envisioning to be a third largest economy, and India today stands shoulder to shoulder with the world's largest economies. On many counts, we are leading pathways as evident in India's increasing role and place in the global matters. India is at upfront in the global deliberations and decision-making forums and bodies. In my view, empowering India is nothing but empowering youth of Indians, because as per the reports of Technical Group of Population Projections, we have the age group of 15 to 29 comprising of about 27.2% as per 2021 population data. And as others said, 20% of world population is, youth population is living in India. In absolute terms, it is about 345 millions. In order to optimally tap constructive and creative energies of the youth, the Department of Youth Affairs pursues the twin objectives of personality building and nation building. That is, developing the personality of youth and involving them in various nation building activities. The first ever National Youth Policy was designed in drafted in 1988, and then there was another policy in 2003, and again in 2014 we had one more policy, and recently in 2021 a new National Youth Policy has come up. The National Youth Policy 2021 aims at reiterates the commitment of entire nation to all-round development of youth of India, so that can realize their full potential and contribute productivity to the nation building process. Friends, in this growth story of India, equity is one very important aspect because of the diversity of social sector, socially different communities. We have to take along every community in this growth story. Nobody should be left behind. In 2006, the status of education and economic development of Muslims was reviewed, and it was observed that the Muslim society is, Muslims are well behind the Dalits and also the other social groups in terms of education as well as in terms of wealth. So there was a Sachar committee recommendation which suggested few remedies to improve their social status. Now, after 20 years, about 18 years of Sachar committee recommendations, a review is required whether there is any improvement in the their social status. We have several welfare measures for marginalized societies like Dalits and Muslims, but those how much effective these welfare measures, we have to have a review, and also readjustment is required. If we see the enrollment in higher education from 2019 to 20, there is a considerable GR improvement is there, but in terms of enrollment GR, Muslims left behind. There is a fall of like 1.7 lakh people in comparison to 2019 and 2020 GR data in higher education. So we need to assess what are the reasons for it. We have to see if the courses which are available, whether they are relevant to them or not. We have to review the curriculum to attract these societies into higher education system. There is one more important sector within Muslim communities, the madrasa students. It's a huge number is there. And aligning them or bringing them into higher education or bringing them into skill is a major issue, because the number is quite huge. Out of 18% of Muslim population, the enrollment into madrasa system is like 4 to 5%. So which is in absolute terms is a huge number. So we have to have a plan how to link them to the higher education system. One is higher education as well as into for skill development. Similarly, there are issues with the other communities also, SC, STs. But because I have a specific data about the Muslims, so I'm focusing on that. So this is a huge number, because in madrasas mostly the curriculum which is taught is outdated, and also it's mostly religious based, religious education. So for them, once they are out of the madrasas, there is no scope for them to get any employment or any skill. So we have to evolve some mechanism to link them to the skills, and also to link them into the higher education, because they also pass some equivalent course to 10th and 12th. But getting them into mainstream in sciences, in technical courses is a real challenge. And only bringing them into social sciences and languages will not serve the purpose of empowering them. So this is one aspect which I wanted to highlight. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the inclusive growth and development. He appealed all the university administrators looking to design the special programs and the courses to bring the Muslim minorities into the mainstream of education. Thank you very much, sir. Now we can move on to the final theme, that is the women empowerment. Women are occupying 50% of the country's population. In my opinion, the women empowerment is not a slogan, but it is very important to achieve social and economic development. There are several programs that are launched for promoting the women empowerment. I request Professor Sundaravali Madam to focus on the women empowerment. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's okay. I feel more empowered if I stand here. Thank you. Professor Uma, for allowing me to come over here. So, the moderator of today's panel discussion, Professor Uma Maheshwari, my fellow panel members here, and the Special Chief Secretary Anilji, and our Chairman APSHI, Professor Hemchandra Reddy Garu, and all the Vice Chancellors of various other universities. I am here, I stand before you today with a side of a pride and optimism as we envision Viksit Bharat 2047. So this Viksit Sankalp Yatra is a movement to achieve self-reliance and to see the developed India by 2047. My topic is women empowerment, and I will focus on women empowerment. Like how we can really reach it, the women to be empowered by 2047 as such. We can see that our nation has come a long way, evolving and growing, and it is a testament to the indomitable spirit of its people, particularly its youth, who has brought about the change. We had really thought-provoking panel discussion over here on skilling, and because all those topics are related to the women empowerment, because the skilling or entrepreneurship of inclusiveness or Atmanirbharan, all these are related to the empowerment of women. So we are empowered Indians, and I wanted to start this topic by relating something from my own life, being how I really passed on from 20th century to 21st century, because I was born in 20th century and now I have passed on to the 21st century, and how the change has come in the perspective of the woman, and how they have become decision makers in their own life. So when I started my post-graduation, and I finished my post-graduation in 1983, so you can judge my age. No, I was willing to do my. Thank you very much. I was willing to do my PhD program. I entered my PhD program. And coming from an educated family, my father was a professor, my mother was a headmistress, and coming from an educated family, I thought my father will definitely encourage me to do the PhD. But to my surprise, he was not in a mood to encourage me to do my PhD. He went to my research supervisor, and he told my research supervisor that I want my daughter to get married, because she has finished her post-graduation and I want my daughter to get married. So please don't join her in PhD stream. Let her join in MPhil stream so that it will be over in 1 year. So I was really taken aback, because my research supervisor was asking me to continue with my PhD program, and my father was adamant that I should get married. So that there was she didn't agree me to change from PhD to MPhil, and my father got me married, and there ends my PhD program too. So that was the situation I was in 1980s, but now the girls have shifted in making their own decisions. They know how to say no. They know how to make their decisions, and especially the girls who have come to the higher education, they make their own decisions what to do after their post graduation, of what next, and when to get married. So that is the paradigm shift we can see in the decision making of the empowered women as such. So here too, as a Vice Chancellor also, I had the privilege of witnessing the transformational journey that Viksit Bharat has undertaken. We have overcome challenges, embraced innovation, and harnessed the potential of our diverse population also. Today, we stand at the threshold of a new era, seeing a bright future in the coming years. So when I was looking at the phrase women empowerment, I started looking at what definition can we give to the woman. So woman, we cannot really fix a definition for a woman, but I tried to get a definition like a woman is an architect of society. She establishes the institution of family life, builds the home, brings up the children, and makes them good citizens. Her strength in totality contribute in the making of an ideal family, ideal society, and an ideal state or a country. So that is a woman as such. So a great role to play in every walk of life. Now coming to the empowerment. So empowerment also, the term has many definitions to speak about, but I fixed it to the term which talks about the authority or the power embodied in women sharing indistinguishable rights. It refers to the liberation of women from socio-economic restraints of self-reliance. So if we go back to our ancient times, that is to the Vedic times, we find women treated equal to men. There was no discrimination on the basis of gender. Instead, woman was honored in the society and she was considered as Janani, which means mother, and also considered as Devi. They used to enjoy all the basic rights where they were free to receive education, could take part in spiritual activities with their own husbands. They were in fact called Ardhangini, better half. Women were given choice to choose their own husbands too. They used to have swayamvaras arranged for them. They enjoyed their rights and equality and there were no restrictions on them. They also possessed a great wealth and property also. But now, the challenge, there is a shift in the Middle Ages when actually the woman has been dragged to the lowest rung, we can say, where the social evils like sati, jauhar, child marriages and no education for the girls, the Padda system, the status of the woman has really changed from to the highest rung to the lowest rung during the Middle Ages. So they were forcibly married at an young age, child marriages were there, and they were only involved in the domestic life. Some men used to think that a woman is nothing more than a marriage material. Unfortunately, they were treated as material and that other has come into existence. We were treated as the other in the society. So the fight for women's empowerment grew stronger. There were social reformers and there were social reforms which were taken up by leaders like Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Swami Vivekananda and many others who has really brought about some change in the status of the woman in the society. And we cannot really forget the Savitribai Phule, who was the first woman teacher and brought about introduced the education for the girl child. So the whole of the 19th century, we can say that it is a women's century. All over the world, they were all the time voicing what actually to fight for the rights, the woman, how she can fight for the rights. And it started in the 18th century, way back in the 18th century in England, when a writer called Mary Wollstonecraft, she wrote an essay called A Vindication of the Rights of Women, which has really created ripples in the English society. And we are really proud that women could get the right to vote in India in an earlier stage than in the Western countries where they call themselves to be developed countries. So we are moving forward in every direction, and the education, the inadequate, though there is inadequate education system there and it is divided and for the middle class English girls. So Mary Wollstonecraft has really brought about the importance of, she spoke about the importance of education for the woman. And also there was another lady, Virginia Woolf. I don't know how many of you know. I know some of my English counterparts are here. She has written a book, an essay called A Room of One's Own. There again she said that women cannot achieve social and creative liberation until they are allowed equal access to education and financial independence. So that is how they have brought about how into the society, how the woman can empower herself by education. So now we have entered into a period of action to reach the sustainable development goals to make this nation a better place to live. Gender equity and empowerment of all the women and girls is one of the SDGs now which are addressed, and the NEP 2020 also prioritizes gender equity and envisions ensuring equitable access to quality education to all the students with a special emphasis on socially and economically disadvantaged groups. So when I was listening to Professor Fazil, I was wondering how we can really improve in bringing about the Muslim young women into the mainstream of education. So now we have to, like our Hon'ble Prime Minister has said, we have to think outside the box, and now we have to really come about with new innovative ideas, how we can move forward in making the woman financially, economically, politically, even politically also we don't find many women representatives in, not in Andhra Pradesh, but it's not a good example to take. Andhra Pradesh is not a good example to take because we are empowered here. But how we can improve the representatives of women in the politics too, and how we can really focus on the government, how we can shift. The government is also keen on shifting from women development to women-led development, giving more importance to the skilling, providing so many incentives to the women. Now, we stand here because it is about the youth who have to hold the hand of the innovative ideas, bring about the innovative ideas. They have created the emails, and they wanted us to create the emails to get the inputs from the youth too, how to make them move about, how the technology can be used for the benefit of the women, how the skilling can be, the skill hubs and the skill development courses, everything can be used for the empowerment of women. So there is need for training programs on gender sensitive issues for men and women too, to project the positives of both men and women individually, and how they can help each other to achieve the common national goal, which we see that it is a bright future for us, and we celebrate the 100 years of independence with the women empowered as such. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for beautifully portraying the transformation of women from 20th century to the 21st century, particularly by quoting the women leaders of India. I appreciate the slogan, women development to women-led development. That is the need of the hour. Thank you very much, ma'am. I thank all the panel members for the very justified discussions on 5 sub-themes. Now the floor is open for question and answers. And if any Vice Chancellor or the rectors and the registrars, they are willing, they can express their views on these themes or any other themes which are a need for achieving, that is Viksit Bharat 2047. Any delegate, any question and answers? Or I request the Vice Chancellor to address or express your views on sub-themes.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Jagadish, Registrar of VIT.
So thank you very much for a nice panel discussion. The panel members on the dais and of the dais. Now we have here, I think, in this panel discussion, we have seen these 5 mantras related to the skilling Indian, innovations, entrepreneurship, and then the where you can see a lot of Atmanirbhar Bharat, inclusive growth and development, women empowerment. So what I feel that under this Viksit Bharat 2047, so this program has enormously going to the roots of the students, because this program basically, I think recently I visited Netherlands, where lot of programs which are going, which is coming from at the level of the school level. We can empower these school children with this program. So this will take a lead for the background of the rural students empowerment and urban students empowerment and also comes to the college level where it leads to the universities. So these programs can, what I feel that these are the excellent programs which can create a networking, which can go integration one by one, and it can take a lead through the empowerment of the students and also to integrate with the children, because there is a, we have a lot of rural children which has made the things wonders. Now all the innovations are coming from rural atmosphere, and also the rural women who are making very good entrepreneurs now. So I feel that this program which can come from rural atmosphere to the urbanization where the people are there. So with this, I strongly feel that the empowerment of the women, which is leading, which is a very key role in this. So with this, I'm very thankful for the panel members which are make this excellent program, which can be make innovations and also entrepreneurship. Already it can go for the chain by chain and interlink with. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the importance of the empowerment from the school onwards. Slowly it can pass to the higher education. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. So the mic is available. Pass on the mic to her. Yeah. Introduce yourself and
yeah. Very good afternoon to all the dignitaries and participants. I'm Professor Rajani, Registrar of Sri Padmavati Mahila Viswavidyalaya, Tirupati. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I think all of you know that Sri Padmavati Mahila Viswavidyalaya is the exclusive women's university in the state of Andhra Pradesh, which accredited with A+ grade. I'm very happy to share here that we have very good ambience for teaching, learning, research, entrepreneurship, and innovation. So just I would like to mention here about the campus synergy of our university. So our campus synergy, which includes the different incubation centers, that is a Technology Business Incubation Center, Women Biotech Incubation Center, Livelihood Business Incubation Center, and TEP Outreach Cum Cluster Innovation Center. So through this campus synergy, we are creating technology business enterprises and fostering the entrepreneurship culture. And we are putting efforts to empower the rural women and peri-urban women to become the women entrepreneurs through herbal and innovative food products. And we are also promoting the networked learning to generate more innovative ideas. So as Professor Ram Mohan Rao said, woman has a greater potential to take up anything. So we got the opportunity as Women's University to build the Nari Shakti and Yuva Shakti through our activities. So I feel that empowering is not limited to necessarily adding the new subjects or new ideas, but still focusing on persistently on the continuation of existing programs like strengthening the startups and community outreach programs, and adding a large number of incubators and incubator centers on the campus definitely will contribute immensely for our Hon'ble Prime Minister's dream, that is Viksit Bharat at 2047. So I will say that as written on the backdrop on the dais, our university cannot stop until we fill the dream of building the Nari Shakti and empowering our young girls. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you, Rajni Garu, for stating your action plan in the promotion of women empowerment, particularly under Viksit Bharat 2047.
This question to Professor Satyanarayan Garu. Sir, gig economy, how was it going to change the strength of the economy of this country? What is students or youngsters?
Regarding the gig economy, I've not really given it much thought. Okay, yes. So I'm not able to really give insight other than general generalities. So let me not dwell with it, but since I already have the mic, I was requesting her for an opportunity to make a couple of points in addition to what I already made. So on the issue of innovation, and this is the point I made in different forums earlier, that typically if you're talking about innovation, it starts with science, right? Core innovation starts at science, and then engineers and others make it into a product that is usable, marketable, and there's a demand in the market, which the engineering people do it, and also economical. All those aspects we take in the product. I have a concern, having been in the state now for about 8-9 years. Earlier I was in Chennai most of my life, and seeing the education ecosystem and the aspirations of the parents mostly. Most of our kids go by what the parents say, and of course the children, is the one track focus on professional courses. That is engineering and medicine and related professional courses. Now, I'll give you an example. We have ICERs. Now, one of the big advantages this state has had because of the bifurcation is the large number of centrally funded institutions that have come into the state, which were almost non-existent before in this particular part of the state before the bifurcation, right? And we have ICER and IIT in Tirupati. In IIT Tirupati, 65% of my undergraduate students are from the Telugu-speaking states. 65%, right? This is a national institute. I have students from 24 states, but 65%, and across all the IITs, I did the survey for the Ministry of Education earlier on another issue, on the language issue. And across the country, almost 17 to 18% of the students are from these two states, right? So disproportionately high proportion of students from these two states. So that way many students are going towards this area. But when it comes to science and humanities, okay, this is where the challenge is. And if you really want an innovative society and a society that is wholesome, science and humanities also should be equally. You go to Harvard, you go to Oxford, which are the most desired programs there? It's the history programs, the humanities programs that are engineering just one department, right? So, IISER Tirupati, which is the premier science institute in the country that has come to Andhra Pradesh, less than 5% of the students joining are from Andhra Pradesh. Being in Andhra Pradesh, right? So in IIT, it is, I'm talking about both the states, okay? So students do not want to study science. And in IIT Tirupati, we have an MSc programs in math, physics, chemistry, which we started quite a few years back. And only in my third batch of MSc, a first student from Andhra Pradesh has joined in my MSc program. Okay, the first student, after 3 years of this MSc program running, a first student from Andhra Pradesh has come and joined my MSc program. Okay, so there is somewhere, somewhere there needs to be more awareness created that this has to be, a strong science base, a strong humanities base is also required. In addition, I'm not saying this, I'm coming from a engineering background and engineering institutions, and I go to schools and tell kids, go after your passion, study. If you like history, go do it. If you study arts, go do it. Then they're like, we did call you to give this message. We thought you will tell them to study hard for JEE and get into IIT. But this is one concern that I have. The other concern I have is the overemphasis on the CS branches, CS IT branches. The core branches, I was just, before the event started, I was having a discussion with Sri Anil Singhal on this exactly the same issue, that students are not joining the core branches. Now, from a national perspective, this is a disaster. Okay, we say that we have to build 60% of our infrastructure still. We have, whether it's roads, ports, buildings, commercial, residential, water systems, wastewater systems, all these things, power infrastructure, communication infrastructure, and so on. We still have to build 60%. And if no student is joining these programs, there's a challenge. How are we going to deliver these things? The second thing is we are saying that we will be the manufacturing hub of the world. Now, because of the geopolitical situation, a lot of industry is moving out of China, trying to relocate. They're more going to Vietnam, they're coming to India, right? The big challenge there is where is the core manpower to drive one of the challenges, in addition to the government incentives and the government environment. A major factor that is why this thing is the lack of right trained manpower in the core area. The third, and we talk about semiconductor, we have the India Semiconductor Mission, right? Where we are trying to, all the countries are putting in a lot of money to get semiconductors back into there, away from China and Taiwan, so that having learned the lesson during the COVID and the other periods. Now, semiconductor industry, everyone thinks it's electrical engineers. But 80% of the people who work inside the semiconductor factories or industry are non-electrical engineers. It is the chemical engineers, the material science engineers, and the mechanical engineers, right? But the fact is, the core sector is not paying. It's not paying at the same rate. But my bigger worry is with the AI, ML, and this generative, all these things, they say half the jobs of the AI, this CS-related jobs will disappear. So there is something for all of us to be very, look at it, because I'm worried from a national perspective that we're going to have this droves of people coming out with this degrees, which they say many of the jobs will disappear. And the other side is we have a huge requirement in the country which we are not producing, right? I also appeal to our friends, and the only institutes that are now sustaining these core areas are the government institutions and the IITs and so on, okay? Because we're not increasing our CS seats or the same. The other concern is the percentage of PhDs, students applying for PhD this year is almost dropped by 50% compared to last 2-3 years, okay? 50%. So where are we going to produce our teachers to run these institutions? That we have to create this manpower. We said, well, I started off by the whole thing of innovation is the talent pool that the universities provide and so on. So if we don't have bright students coming and doing PhD, and this is going to be a big challenge we're going to be having. Where are we going to find our faculty members? So I thought, I've been talking about this in various forums. I've been in discussions with the ACT chairman, the vice chairman, Abhay Jare, everyone on this. Now we are also going to start running some workshops with the industry, especially the core industry, saying that unless you people do something about this, we're going to run into a problem. So I thought I'd use this forum to make this point. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Satyanarayana sir. They are all very pertinent issues. Probably we need to discuss at length, and we need to come out with an action plan, at least for this state. We are also not very happy, the skewed growth towards, mad rush towards computer science and then engineering as such. So definitely there's a point, sir, we have noted it. We as a policymaker, we also need to work on it. I'm very happy you raised this issue in the presence of many vice chancellors of the universities. Probably they will also give a serious thinking to it. Thank you.
Learned dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, pranams to all of you. I am Professor Rani Sadashivamurthy, the Vice Chancellor of Vedic University, Sri Venkateswara Vedic University, Tirupati. At the outset, I express my gratitude for including me and my colleagues in this wonderful triggering program of Viksit Bharat and Sashakta Bharat. Here, I would like to place before you three thoughts. One is about Viksit Bharat, that is, Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. This was a wonderful quote from our Upanishads, which reflects the thought of Viksit Bharat. Purnam is 360 degrees completeness. So, through Viksit Bharat, what we have to achieve is 360 degrees perfection. That is, in all spheres of our country, this perfection is required. So, here, when we say all this Purnamada Purnamidam, we say Purnamadaha, this country itself is perfect since the beginning of the dawn of civilization. And Purnamidam, the knowledge society of our country, that is perfect since the beginning. And Purnat Purnamudichyate, from the completeness of our country, everyone, whoever is here and whoever is elsewhere in our country, whoever is born in our country is also perfect. So, with the help of this perfection, we can get within these 25 years time, perfection overall. So, this is Viksit Bharat. And when the Bharat is well bloomed and well flourished, definitely it becomes Sashakta Bharat. So, this is first thing. And as far as the skills are concerned, wonderfully enlightened by the speech of our Ram Mohan Rao Garu. And here the skills can be classified as a skills cycle. In the skill cycle, 4 aspects should be taken into consideration. First one is general skills. The second one is the professional skills. And the third one is inherited skills, and the fourth one is inherent skills. When we can bring integration of all these 4 types of skills, surely the youth will be useful for the society. And finally, I would like to add a new slogan. It may be useful at any particular time or occasion. That is, Shuddhi of Buddhi. That is, what all impure in us, that should be cleared. If the impurities are cleared, we can have pure intellect. That is Suddhi for Buddhi. And Buddhi for Vriddhi. So, this intellect should lead for the overall growth of our country. That is why this is Buddhi for Vriddhi. And when this kind of positive growth is there, Vriddhi for Siddhi. Siddhi is fulfillment. So when this kind of development is there, definitely this will be leading to the fulfillment of everyone, every sphere, and of our entire country. Thanks for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Jagdish, Registrar VITAB University. I would like to just put forth one thought our Honorable Chancellor Dr. G. Vishwanathan always says in our meetings, that the central government spends approximately some 3% of the GDP on higher education. And it has been a slogan for a very long time, and successive governments couldn't bring it to the 6% of GDP. So the spending on the higher education is still very paltry, and then with this motive of Viksit Bharat by 2047, I think the GER also, our Indian GER is something around 27% or something, it seems, approximately 20 to 30. But in developed nations, the gross enrollment ratio is from 80 to 100. So this puts us on a very big challenge. And we need to improve this gross enrollment ratio as well as the spending on the higher education. And apart from that, there should not be a partisan approach between the government or the private universities which are doing a lot of service to the nation by producing quality engineers. So I think some synergy has to be drawn, and I hope the panelists will be brainstorming and then maybe throwing some light on this aspect, that the private universities are also great stakeholders in this, and not just the government universities with the size of our country and the population. The fruits will only go when all the stakeholders are taken on board. And building of the infrastructure, I think, would be a great thing, boost. Instead of focusing on the just only manpower, if we have more of the tech parks that were created, like in IIT Madras, similarly, if the government is able to is going to spend money, and then every 300-400 kilometers, if we are having a tech park where our young population can go do some testing, or they have accessibility to various equipment, I think that would be a great push, rather than just putting it on some scheme and then disbursing the money. So more of the infrastructure will be there, then I think it will stand test of time, is what I think, and maybe the panelists can throw some light on this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views.
A very good afternoon to one and all. I am Professor Sheila Reddy from Central University of Andhra Pradesh. I am here with my Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor S.A. Kori. With his permission, I would like to make some comments. As we all know that Viksit Bharat at the rate of 2047 is a clarion call given by the Hon'ble Prime Minister of India for a developed and inclusive India. When we talk about developed and inclusive India, the important fact is that the governments are driving home the point that nothing about us without us. That means when we talk about good governance, stakeholder consultation is very, very important. So when the most important questions in governance are who are the players, who influence, and who decides. So this is a very good opportunity which the government of India has envisioned to involve or engage the youth for all right purposes. We all know that youth are very vibrant and they engage themselves in wrong purposes and right purposes. So this is the best way to channelize the energy of the youth and to involve them in the formulation of national policies, priorities, and goals. And when we talk about engaging youth, and many panelists gave a lot of inputs and suggestions, but the most important thing is we have a mandate before us and we have a great responsibility. So how we go forward in this responsibility, as has been suggested, this Viksit Bharat is not a campaign, but movement. Youth have a bundle of ideas, but how we put it into practice is quite challenging. So when we talk about the responsibility of the institutions, it is not only important to build synergies and networking between industry, academia, and also other research institutions, but what needs to be done is to popularize this slogan, to make it into a movement at every level, at the institutional level or at the university level. It is important to form vibrant student bodies. Given my little experience, I feel that in whatever we have done in my previous workplace in Delhi, when students are involved to mobilize the ideas and put across, I think students can generate a lot of consciousness. So it is a collective endeavor, and I once again compliment the APSHI chairman for giving me this opportunity, and also for having arranged this insightful session wherein we got to have an opportunity to listening to the Vice Chancellors who have rich and experience and expertise on diverse perspectives. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila Garu, for highlighting the importance of voice of youth in reaching the ambition of Viksit Bharat. Due to paucity of time, I am unable to take up the views from other members. Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Can I continue?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay, sir. Yeah.
So thank you very much, Uma Maheshwari, for giving me this opportunity, despite of having not having time. At the outset, I thank Professor Hemchandra Reddy Garu for encouraging me to share my ideas before the learned panelists and my colleagues, sitting over here. Developed nation by 2047 is a very good slogan. But to be able to reach there, we need to understand the kind of problems that we have on ground. I am really happy and I am rather proud to know that you have created clusters in AP State. Creating knowledge clusters enables us to share our resources, and once you share the resources, the youth will be enriched. This is really good move. Honestly speaking, how much it is happening is the big thing that we need to really introspect ourselves. In Tirupati itself, I know very closely both public and private institutes as well as the centrally funded institutes. Very rich knowledge resources are available in recently established national institutes. We need to have a digital platform so that the resources, especially the teaching resources that are available in ISERs and IITs, should also be made available in other universities located in Tirupati cluster. I don't think that we need to invest quite a huge sum. We need to create smart classrooms and a good network so that the lectures that are given in IITs and ISERs should also be available at other places, so that very important knowledge resources are not restricted to few institutes. The second important thing is that experienced teachers, exceptionally good knowledge skills are getting really endangered. The country as a whole, we need to create knowledge repository. We need to immortalize the knowledge resources that we have. There are really exceptionally good talent pool with senior scientists and professors across the country and also NRIs across the globe. We need to invite them to give teaching modules in a specialized areas, and we have to create a knowledge repository which should be made available to all the students enrolled in different institutes. So this is the only way that we can share these scarce knowledge resources among the youth. We need to accept that the elitist institutes funded by public and also in private sector are available only for less than 10% of the students. 90% are going across the country to public institutes where resources are scarce. If you want to bridge this gap, this is the thing that we need to do. The other thing that students selectively going to technical courses and then avoiding some basic sciences and also humanities is a real problem, like Professor Satyanarayana said. We have already implemented NEP 2020. The entire state is now 4 years program with the internship. But we need to have common core curriculum where student will enjoy the first 1 year, 2 years courses, and based on his taste, he should be given freedom to select the course of his choice. He need to have the freedom to design his own course based on the number of credits he or she earns. At the end of the day, university should give him degree. Unless we do this, it is not going to promote the thing. The third important thing at our institute, we have invested nearly 100 crores this year to improve the research infrastructure And this is available in iSTEM. Anybody in the country can share. So like that, all the resources that are available in our universities, we need to place it in iSTEM and make them available not only to the academia and industry. That way, sharing resources actually make us more empowered rather than becoming weak through isolations. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I do know time has gone up and I made many of you to wait. I am really sorry about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for highlighting the importance of digital infrastructure for knowledge transfer, as well as the creation of knowledge depositories across the country for the benefit of the students. I think this is possible only through the partnership between the public universities and private universities. If the private universities are willing, the APSHI may take up for establishing the knowledge repositories with approval from the chairman of APSHI itself. Thank once again all the panel members. Yes, sir. Yeah. One more speaker.
Madam, ikkada. This side, madam.
Sir, we can have the discussions during the lunch session because of the paucity of the time. I'm sorry, I'm unable to take up your views, but I think we are having plenty of time during the lunch. We can discuss more and more and more. I can record your views also.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Madam, with regard to the one observation, Professor Satyanarayana Garu raised that the students are moving towards engineering programs, ignoring the social sciences and arts and humanities. It is true. But the point is, when Dr. Rajshekhar Reddy Garu was the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, he has provided the financial support to the students to pursue the engineering programs or other professional courses. The dream of the parents and the student is to pursue the engineering program, and the parents' dream is to make her child or her ward to be the engineers. So now, even 100 students completes the +2. Earlier, 70% of the students enrolled in arts and science science courses. Only 30% will move to engineering. Now, 70% students are enrolling in engineering graduates, engineering courses, and 30% prefers to join in social sciences and arts courses. This is not a problem. This is not a problem on the part of system, because the concept of education changed from knowledge-centered to life-centered. Life-centered means whatever the knowledge that the child acquires through formal or informal or non-formal must be helpful to the learner to earn something for his livelihood. He thinks that the technical courses will help him to earn something to lead his life more happily, comfortably. So this is the situation happened because of the financial support given by the then Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Dr. Y.S. Rajshekhar Reddy Garu. Even today also, in Andhra Pradesh, enrollment is raised in the schools, in the colleges, in the universities because of the financial support to the parents as well as students. So now we have to demand the governments, like other states also, to provide budget allocation and also to provide financial support to the students as well as the parents. Only in the entire country, the parents are given financial support in the form of Amavadi for enrolling their children in the schools is in the state of Andhra Pradesh. So this kind of programs and this kind of schemes are needed to elevate the educational standards as well as the enrollment in the country. So without much allocation of the budget to the education, the Viksit Bharat cannot be achieved. This is my observation.
Thank you, sir, for your observation. Now we can move on to the next session, that is the protocol, how to follow the protocol for this one. Now I can invite Professor K. Hemachandra Reddy Garu, the Honorable Chairman, APSHI, to come on to the dais. Big applause. He is a visionary who made major contribution to the curriculum, including introducing 10 months mandatory internships to the undergraduate students. He has played a key role in the implementation of NEP 2020, but above all, he is an excellent teacher who loves to teach and interact with the students. Now I can invite Hemchandra Reddy Garu to explain the protocol, how to engage the youth in contribution towards the Viksit Bharat at 2047. Over to you, sir.
It's okay.
Respected Special Chief Secretary to the Governor, Anil Singhal-ji, respected Principal Secretary Higher Education, Shri Shyamal Rao Garu, very distinguished Honorable Vice Chancellors of the State Universities, Central Universities, deemed to be universities, private universities, and directors of the central institutions. What an amazing get-together this is. In fact, a couple of days back when Special CS Garu called me, said, we need to organize this program. I said, it is quite easy because we are already connected. So, under the banner AP Higher Education Planning Board, we already we already met thrice, and we have made it a practice that once in every 3 months or 4 months, we keep meeting and discussing. I'm very happy Professor Satyanarayana Garu acknowledged the regional cluster groups and higher education planning board. So we could bring in all the academic administrators of Andhra Pradesh here and to discuss there is a presentation. To discuss the vision plan for Viksit Bharat at 2047. We all heard Hon'ble Prime Minister unveiling the vision and Hon'ble Prime Minister making an appeal to all the youth of this country to participate and share the vision. And here I am going to talk about the SOP on how we can engage our students. In fact, the size is 1.5 million in all higher education institutions. We have 50 universities and 2,600 higher education institutions or colleges. So 1.5 million student strength is quite big. And if all of them can participate and some of them can generate vision for Viksit Bharat at 2047, probably our contribution will be invaluable. So, before I actually talk about the action plan, let me very briefly discuss or, review what has happened in the last 4 years. In the last 4 years in higher education front of Andhra Pradesh, we have done many policies. All of them are now student-centric. And all of them were kept, in all these policies, we kept student at the center. And engaging the student, making the student to participate in the process of learning was the vision that we have unveiled for the state of Andhra Pradesh. Now, very quickly drawing your attention, we have introduced mandatory community engagement. In fact, we went a little ahead and we have created board for community development through education. And embracing technology, Honorable Vice Chancellor unveiled his vision on, implementing advanced technologies, emerging technologies, particularly in the areas of AI, VI, ER.
and we have unveiled an action plan for that. Innovation and startup culture, Professor Satyanarayana Garu was talking at length during his panel discussion. We have established 553 innovation startup centers across the state of Andhra Pradesh. And online education is something which I've taken up very seriously. And I've already told you student-centric learning is at the center stage now in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Making global citizens is the vision. 5 goals we have set for the higher education of the state. One of the prominent goal is that making global citizens from Andhra Pradesh and inclusive growth, inclusive education. And today someone was talking about, I think it was Jagdish, talking about GER of the country. In fact, we were at 32.4 in 2018-19, and today we are 37.4 against a national average of 27.2. So we are very quickly growing, and I don't know, Sundarvalli was talking about women empowerment. Our GPI was 0.81 in 18-19. Very quickly, next 2 years, we surged to 0.94. And you will all be surprised, 22-23 admission analysis say that the women enrollment is more than men enrollment. So we already crossed that threshold, and today we are going for inclusive growth in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and particularly the enrollment in the deprived sections of SCs, STs, BCs, rural Andhra Pradesh is really considerable and way ahead of the rest of the counterparts in this country. Next slide, please. So, how can we engage our students, to unveil this vision plan for Viksit Bharat at 2047? Like, even before the other states could realize or understand NEP, we rolled out the new curriculum in 2020 itself. And even before the other states could think about community engagement, we made it mandatory for every student, and we are asking every student to spend 2 months of time with the community and do a project work, submit it for credits. So that's how we made it mandatory. Already 5 lakh students went to the society. Now another 3.5 lakh students are going to society during this summer. Now that's a wonderful opportunity for all the academic administrators. We can give a direction to all our students. We can motivate them when they go and participate, with the community to do a project work. Let them talk about technology transfer. Let them talk about awareness. Let them talk about education. And in fact, 1.5 million students against 5 crore population, it is very close to 1:30, 1:35 ratio. If each student can, try to educate 35 citizens of Andhra Pradesh, the whole Andhra Pradesh is transformed. That is the idea with which we have established this board for community development through education. So we are giving the themes. Now that is going to be an important aspect. I think I request all the vice chancellors, registrars, rectors, deans to please focus on this. When next time when you are sending them outside your college classrooms into the society, you tell them very clearly, give them a mandate to go and explore what kind of a change they can bring in. Because, ultimately we should have an action plan, or we should have a vision for this country at 2047. That's what Viksit Bharat is all about. Let them go. And the kind of, engagements we are doing already, I think many ideas should flow from Andhra Pradesh, as compared to other states in this country. Now let us take the appeal by Hon'ble Prime Minister very seriously, and let us, give a direction to all our students. Let them very enthusiastically participate, and let them post their ideas in the portal. And where is this portal? How a student can reach this portal? We will discuss a little later. And the innovation startup centers are paving way for all our students to come together and discuss. During the discussions, probably we can augment or we can facilitate them to discuss about the new ideas that students can discuss for the future of this country, future of Andhra Pradesh. A student-centric approach, in fact, we have, in the last 3 years, we have empowered, we have, in no uncertain terms, told the student that you are very important to us. And that feeling is already there. Ramohan sir, when he was participating in the panel discussion, he was highlighting some of the achievements. 1,25,000 certifications of Microsoft in 1 year, and 1,50,000 other certifications, and 5 lakh credits transferred from online to the university system. All this talk volumes about how engaged our students are, how motivated our students are. And therefore, the stage is set for all of you. Now you can really give a direction to your students to think about and participate in the vision, Viksit Bharat 2047 vision. And let them churn out these ideas, let them discuss, debate. And in fact, we also have already announced state-level awards. State-level awards in innovation, state-level awards in community engagement, state-level awards for best student. They are all with huge prize money. And already 2, awards have been handed over in the last 2 years. Now we are going for announcement of a 3rd award session. So you may also bring in these ideas into this, and therefore we'll also request the parameters on which the students are evaluated for these prestigious state awards. We'll also include Viksit Bharat 2047. Maybe you will have to sensitize your students. And inclusive growth, Nimma Venkatrao Garu was rightly talking about. Jagdish was talking about 6% budget allocation. Andhra Pradesh is the only state now with almost for the last 4 years, year on year, 4% of GDP is allocated to education. So we are spending a lot of money on education, and that is leading to inclusive growth. Probably we can identify those sections which have not participated so far, and we can sensitize them, we can strengthen them, we can seek fresh ideas from these people so that, we generate ideas from almost every section of Andhra Pradesh. Move forward, please. Next slide. So very quickly, the action plan from my side. See, the QR codes are already under circulation. The QR codes, I think the governor's office has printed, sir. Is it circulated? The QR codes. Yeah. Now, all the vice chancellors will receive these QR codes. You please display these QR codes very prominently in your websites and also at prominent places in your colleges, so that a student, when he scans the QR code, it will take him to the proper website where he can register, post his ideas. So we are also, in fact, I have requested our vice chairpersons to please create a e-handbook, how to log in, how to engage with the portal. So a e-handbook will also be rolled out very soon, maybe by tomorrow. And it will be sent to all the universities and colleges straight away. So you please sensitize your students to use this and let them all register. Let maximum number of registrations happen from Andhra Pradesh. Now, a formal communication to the other higher education departments will also happen from our side. APSHE will take up that responsibility. Follow up with vice chancellors. In fact, it's not new. We keep discussing once in every week almost. So next 2 weeks at least we'll plan a couple of meetings. We'll discuss how best we can create awareness among the students. And also I request the university vice chancellors to identify a coordinator who can directly talk to APSHE or talk to your affiliating colleges, so that two-way information happens there. And a schedule may be designed by each university. In fact, we will prepare a schedule, we'll send it to you. Accordingly, to suit your university requirements, you may alter the schedule and you may circulate with all of them. And as and when the central government approves the banners, like this banner, they have instructed us to display it on almost every function that happens on Viksit Bharat. So any other banner, as and when we receive it, we will circulate it to you. And one of the points Niti Aayog is very strongly requesting all higher education institutions is to use hashtag ideas for Viksit Bharat. So in almost all your social media postings, you may please encourage your students, faculty to use hashtag ideas for Viksit Bharat, so that our postings can take prominence. And audio visual campaign can also be launched, and print advertisements can also be launched. In fact, we'll give you guidelines very shortly in discussion with RAJBHAVAN and Principal Secretary Higher Education. So as and when we circulate them, please pay attention to it and take it to the students. And the one big advantage we have and other states they don't have is the BCDE. Already I've told you we have Board for Community Development through Education. There is a CEO, and every college has BCDE ambassadors, and each college has at least 20 BCDE ambassadors, and each university has a BCDE coordinator. A very well established system network is there already. And from each of this college BCDE WhatsApp group, we have picked 2 students, 2 ambassadors, and formed a university level WhatsApp group. Now the university BCDE coordinator can post it in university WhatsApp group, which will instantly reach these 2 ambassadors in every college. They in turn can post it in the BCDE groups of that college. So we already have a network, and I request the registrars to make use of this network already created, so that we can disseminate the information very effortlessly, very easily, so that it can reach all the students. So BCD is something which can come very handy at this point of time. For the next 2 weeks, please concentrate more on BCD coordinators. And a social media campaign, of course, it's not new to our students. You can ask your students to participate. Particularly when they go to community, let them take a picture, let them generate their idea, and let them post it. But every time they post it, let them use hashtag ideas for Viksit Bharat. In fact, I personally feel with all the efforts we have already made, I think many ideas should be generated, many postings should happen from Andhra Pradesh. And that is the assurance I have given to Honorable Special CS Garu. And Principal Secretary Garu is also very confident that we can generate more from Andhra Pradesh. So let us make Andhra Pradesh unique for a simple reason that we have been working on all this for the last 4 years. So we are not working only for Viksit Bharat. So we have already initiated many measures. Now this is not anything new. It becomes part of that, and therefore let us take it very seriously. Move forward. And SOP for the universities, give prominence to the QR code. That's what I said. You call for your affiliated colleges and constituent college principals meeting. You tell them to display this QR code prominently, and also publicize on the website in the social media as well. Initiate social media campaign by universities and colleges. Maybe you can create contests. You can conduct competitions for your students, and you can even announce prizes for that. And as I have already told you, promote hashtag ideas for Viksit Bharat. And maybe you can ask your lecturers to talk about it in the classrooms. At least the lecturer who goes to the classroom for the first hour of the day can throw a little light, maybe discuss this. And already you have innovation spaces in your respective colleges. Or if you want, you can create a space and designate that room as Viksit Bharat Ideation Center, and probably allow your students to discuss and debate on this, so that students slowly get motivated to talk more about this, and thereby the idea is spread across the student community. And a clear, very clearly drawn SOP can be generated to obtain feedback from the students, faculty. Maybe after a week or 10 days, probably we'll discuss once again whether we could achieve the target, or are we way behind, or we are comfortable, so that we use this feedback to readjust ourselves and move forward. Organize Viksit Bharat Utsavs. It can be half marathons, or walks or runs, whatever you call it. Or you can even organize cultural fests in your college in the name of Viksit Bharat, and then do this. As I've told you, the competitions can also go on debates and discussions. And every day, each university or a college can release 3 or 4 posts on Viksit Bharat, so that it reaches students. In fact, we are also trying to establish a communication network at ABSHE. We have given the work order. Maybe very soon it will be in place. When once that is in place, effortlessly we can reach 1.5 million students, 15 lakh students in one go. So that's also possible, but I'm not really sure if we can make it in the next 10 days. But definitely that tool can be used to reach every student, every faculty in the college. If it is materialized within next 10 days, we start pumping from ABSHE itself all the relevant material to every college, every student, every faculty. And encourage NCC cadets and NSS volunteers. Already, in addition, you have very active BCDE coordinators. So make use of them to create awareness. Next one, please. So, of course, what students can do, I have listed here. In fact, the copies have been circulated to all of you, handed over to all of you. So please follow this, sensitize your students. Let Andhra Pradesh be the first state to do a very decent job in promoting Viksit Bharat at 2047. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Now, I request our Principal Secretary Garu to please come onto the dais and address the gathering. Thank you.
Sri J. Shamal Rao Garu IAS, the Principal Secretary, the Government of Andhra Pradesh Higher Education, with a distinguished career marked by continued and expertise into the field of health, urban development and various revenue departments, has played a pivotal role in shaping the educational landscape of the state in line with NEP 2020. Now I request Sri Shamal Rao Garu to address the delegates and the students who joined online.
Special CS to the Honorable Governor, Sri Anil Singhal Chairman AP State Higher Education Council, Professor Hemchandra Reddy ji, Vice Chancellors of various public and private universities, Directors of national institutions, registrars and other participants in this workshop, and the faculty and students participating from different locations online. Good afternoon to all of you. I thank all of you for participating in big numbers in this workshop and also physically coming at short notice to this important workshop. So all of us heard the speech of Hon'ble Prime Minister on how to engage youth and why we should engage youth in our vision 2047, that is Viksit Bharat. All the panelists on the sub-themes talked about different issues and different anomalies in the system. They are very thought-provoking, and we all will work to ensure that solutions are found at the state level also. So all the panelists talked about the nation being very young. In the sense, if you see the entire world, India has substantial population of youth. 66% of the population is less than 35 years of age. It is going to be a young nation, and for the next 24 years we are going to have a very young workforce. Everybody is talking about deriving demographic dividends. So therefore, youth has a bigger stake in the future, and they are going to be our future leaders. They have the energy and enthusiasm, they have idealism, open-mindedness, and different ideas. They can give ideas out of the box. Professor Hemchandra Reddy explained very clearly the SOP given by the Government of India on how to follow. It is very clear regarding the role of each stakeholder. I'm sure all of you will ensure that we have very big numbers of students participating in this campaign and also generate good ideas. He has already explained that when we are giving awards for the students, best students every year, we can we should make this participation in this campaign also a parameter for deciding the best students, because this is very important. Not only that, it is not just contribution of ideas. We should also ensure that you participate in big numbers and become part of development. National Education Policy 2020 exactly talks about this, and then National Education Policy 2020 is being implemented not only by the state universities and state higher education institutions. All the educational institutions in the country are participating in that. And I'm very happy to note that all the higher education institutions, irrespective of state, center, public, private, everybody is collaborating with each other. And this is not the first time that we are all meeting in such forums. We have regional conferences. I have participated in some of the conferences. I'm happy to note the collaboration which we have started. This will be an example to follow for other states in the country. So clearly, all of you know, we have discussed number of times, number of occasions on the achievements of National Education Policy 2020, the way we are implementing in the state, where students are going to be the biggest beneficiaries, are only the beneficiaries of this policy. So we should ensure that they participate in big numbers and also make use of these national education opportunities provided by the National Education Policy 2020. So we already explained the access provided to the higher educational institute in the state. Andhra Pradesh is one of the states spending a lot of money, percentage in terms of the percentage is very huge in education and also in higher educational institution, higher education. Substantial amount is being spent and we are seeing the results. Previously, Professor Hemchandra Reddy talked about the gross enrollment ratio, which is progressing or growing at a much higher pace than the national average. We started at 32 and then it has gone up to 37. Our GPA also has gone up compared to the national average. It is going at a much higher rate. SEDGs, socially and economically, socio-economically disadvantaged groups, they are participating now in more numbers with the advent of, with the implementation of National Education Policy and also.
Okay. So, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
I request Honorable Governor Garu to address the delegates and the faculty members and the students who joined online. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished guests, Vice Chancellors of Central, State and deemed to be universities, Directors of IIT, IIM, IIIT, Registrars, Deans, Rectors, Faculty members, Principals of various colleges, my dear students, my warm greetings to you all. I extend my hearty welcome to all the dignitaries to this Viksit Bharat 2047 Voice of the Youth workshop. As you are all aware, India is at the cusp of the moment in this Amrit Kal, that is, the next 25 years extending to 2047, making the centenary of India's independence. And the decision and actions undertaken during the Amrit Kal will have a profound and lasting impact on the future millennium. The goal of Amrit Kal is to ascend to new heights of prosperity for India and the citizens of India. Amrit Kal aims to improve the lives of Indians through an all-round development of all regions of the country. In 2021 Independence Day speech, Hon'ble Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji shared his vision for Amrit Kal and 2047 when the country would celebrate 100 years of independence. He mentioned that the goal of Amrit Kal is to create an India where the level of facilities is not dividing the village and the city, where there is every modern infrastructure available in the world. To achieve these goals, he gave the slogan, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, or Sabka Prayas. The Prime Minister in his 2022 Independence Day speech also shared Panch Pran of Amrit Kal, resolves for developed and resurgent India, which are as follows. A resolve of developed India, removing any trace of the colonial mindset, taking pride in our legacy, our strength of unity, and the fifth, fulfilling duties of citizens with honesty. He urged the citizens to nurture new possibilities, realize new resolutions, and move ahead with confidence. The Prime Minister also underlined collective efforts and teamwork to take the country forward. India is at a turning point in its history, and the 21st century will be India's century as the country pole vaults into the future confident of its capabilities. It is now the fifth largest economy in the world and will be the world's third largest economy by 2027, as its GDP crosses $5 trillion US. According to IMF estimates, by 2047, India is poised to be 30 trillion economy with all attributes of a developed nation and become a Viksit Bharat. In the histories of nations, there comes a turning point when a nation grabs the moment, achieves rapid growth. To quote a few examples, we know how Japan underwent remarkable transformation in the 1950s and 60s, post-World War II, propelling Japan into a leading world economy and the global economic powerhouse. Similarly, Germany achieved economic miracle in 1950s, 60s and 70s through a period of rapid economic growth and rising living standards. Singapore transformed itself from being a developed country in 1960s and 70s to one of the richest nations in the world and one of Asia's economic powerhouse. Another example is South Korea, which transformed its economy dramatically from the 1960s to 90s with the support of the world-leading companies. These nations understood the importance of a turning point and leveraged it to become economic giants. Friends, now it is our turn as India is at the cusp of such an opportunity. The draft Viksit Bharat 2047 vision document under preparation by the Niti Aayog aims at transforming India with an emphasis on the 10 sectoral thematic visions and technologies in which India should lead by 2047 and addresses the necessary institutional and structural reforms. Now let us look at the steps that need to be taken to realize the transformation outlined in the Niti Aayog's draft Viksit Bharat 2047 vision document. First, human development. Enhance healthcare, education, and skill development initiatives. Aim for an average life expectancy of 71.8 years and a literacy rate of 89.8% by 2047. Infrastructure revolution. Build world-class infrastructure, fostering connectivity and accessibility. Invest in smart cities, efficient transport networks, and sustainable energy solutions. Prioritize rural infrastructure development to bridge the urban-rural divide. 3. Environmental sustainability. Mitigate climate change and reduce environmental degradation. Conserve natural resources and promote renewable energy adoption. 4. Social welfare. Ensure social security, poverty alleviation, and inclusive development. Focus on marginalized communities, empowering them with equal opportunities. 5. Global leadership. Strengthen diplomatic ties, foster international collaborations, and be a beacon of peace and cooperation. Lead in global governance forums, shaping policies for a better world. Innovation and technology. 6th. Foster a culture of innovation, research, and development. Invest in emerging technologies like AI, biotechnology, and clean energy, making India a global technological hub. Create an ecosystem that supports startups and entrepreneurship. Education and skill development. 7th. Transform the education system, emphasizing skill-based learning. bridge the urban-rural education divide, ensuring quality education for every child. 8. Healthcare revolution. Strengthen healthcare infrastructure, prioritize preventive care, and ensure affordable and accessible healthcare services for all the citizens. 9th, agricultural modernization. Implement progressive agricultural reforms, enhancing productivity and farmer income. Ensure food security and reduce rural-urban disparities. 10. Manufacturing and trade. Promote Make in India initiatives, facilitate ease of doing business and boost exports. Foster the robust manufacturing sector, driving economic growth and job creation. Encourage small and medium enterprises to thrive and innovate. The draft Viksit Bharat at 2047 vision document represents an ambitious and comprehensive effort to guide India's development and economic growth over the next few decades. The seeds we sow today will define the fruits reaped in future. To achieve the above-mentioned transformational objectives of Viksit Bharat envisioned for 2047, the country must continue to focus on Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas or Sabka Prayas. The vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, to see India as a developed country by 2047 is based on the country's potential, available resources, and notably the strength of its youth. It should be our collective responsibility to make India a developed country by promoting probity, transparency, and impartiality. According to the Prime Minister, the Triveni of demography, democracy, and diversity has the potential to make India's every dream come true. We have achieved remarkable progress in many spheres in the last few years. We have witnessed